stand this much longer. Where is he?
Where is who?
The judge. If he's going to sentence me, can he at least get his act together and get it over with?
I told you before, nobody is here to sentence you. This is a preliminary hearing to set your bail and to hear your plea.
Well, it's all the same to me. And all this endless waiting around doesn't help matters.
Heather, sit down and calm down.
How can I?
I will explain it all to you one more time, but you've got to calm down first, otherwise you're not going to understand a word I tell you.
I'll try.
All right, I know it's confusing. This is called a preliminary hearing. Now, you're being charged formally with assault with a deadly weapon. They're going to determine how much money it's going to take to bail you out of jail, and they're going to hear your plea.
Guilty or not guilty?
Exactly. And we're going to plea you not guilty.
But, Joe, how can you do that? I've already admitted to them I was in Diana Taylor's apartment with the gun.
Believe me, I'm well aware of that.
Well, then, I don't understand how I can plead not guilty to anything.
Technicality, that's all.
I don't understand.
Look, just trust me, all right? Your pleading not guilty has nothing to do with whether or not you did or did not commit the crime.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Just leave it to me, okay?
What if the district attorney goes up there and calls me a liar?
Nobody is going to call you anything.
Joe, I'm scared. I hate what's happening.
It's just going to be a little bit longer, okay?
Joe, what if he goes up there?
There's no what ifs. There's nothing. It's just you and me. I'm your attorney. I'm here to defend you. Trust me, all right?
I do trust you, Joe.
Everything is going to be fine.
All rise.
Hello, Scotty. Scotty?
Who is it?
Hi. It's Bobbie Spencer.
What do you want?
I want to see you.
No way.
Come on, let's get together for a drink when I get off work.
Leave me alone.
Hey, Scotty. Can we get together for old time's sake? You know that restaurant, Vito's, that we used to like so much? Come on, let's go there.
Bobbie, listen, we have nothing to say to each other, right? Too much has happened.
All the more reason for us to talk, I think. Because so much has happened.
Oh, what a glorious day this is, darling. Oh, have you ever had those days when you just feel absolutely sparkling?
To what do I blame these high spirits?
I'm falling in love with Port Charles, darling. First there was a wedding and all that excitement. Oh, my goodness, tonight we have the cocktail reception hosted by Mrs. Mikos Cassadine. Oh, what a social scene this is.
Should have known, yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, it's not exactly Hollywood, I'm sure, or Monte Carlo, but I'm having the time of my life, darling.
I can see you're easily amused, but tell me, does this reception really interest you?
Oh, naturally, not you.
No, not at all. Curious, maybe. Interested, no. I want to know why the widow Cassadine is at all interested in the Port Charles social calendar.
Oh, darling, why else would you give a party if she weren't?
I've heard there's some sort of a gift involved. But if Helena Cassadine's behind it, you can be sure it'll be something devious.
I'm surprised to see you here, Doc. I thought you were at that fancy reception.
Reception's later this afternoon. I must speak with you, Dr. Weber.
Hello there.
I have a patient if you'd like to wait. Miss Baker, why don't you come
I'm
inside?
afraid that will not be possible. My business with you is of the utmost importance.
Rick, I'll tell you what. Why don't I take Mr. Baker inside? We'll take a look at those stitches, maybe start taking them out, and then you can join us.
Thank you, Leslie.
Come on, kid.
I am coming to the reception. What more would you like?
First, I must remind you that Mrs. Cassadine plans to give an important gift to General Hospital this evening.
Well, I'm sure everybody will be very grateful, very appreciative, sir.
Indeed. However, unless Mrs. Cassadine can arrange a private meeting with Mr. Spencer, before then, there will be no reception and no gift.
You can't be serious. You really can't be serious.
I am not in the habit of joking, sir.
You are telling me that she wants to cancel the reception if she doesn't have this meeting with Luke Spencer?
Those are Mrs. Cassidyne's orders.
And she feels the very same way as to the gift to the hospital. Am I right?
It goes without saying.
That is ridiculous. The man is on his honeymoon.
I assume he can be reached by telephone?
Oh, listen. Watch my lips. Very carefully. He just got married. He is on his honeymoon.
I understand perfectly. And I assure you his audience with Madame will be very brief. Also, a car has been dispatched all ready to Beecher's Corners. Tell Mr. Spencer that he will be transported directly back once the meeting is finished.
Why don't you ask Mrs. Cassadine to give him a break, all right?
At the expense of General Hospital?
I get your point. I'll try to call him, but I won't guarantee you anything.
Well, sometimes it just takes a little longer than we expect, that's all.
Better safe than sorry, right?
So they say. So to be safe, we're going to leave them right where they are, and you come back in 4 days, and I bet we can take every single stitch out.
Thanks, Dr. Weber.
You're welcome. That's why we're here.
Oh, by the way, how's your daughter and Luke Spencer doing?
I don't know, but I'm sure they're having a wonderful honeymoon.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
There was some wham-bang of a wedding.
Oh, thank you, sir. Glad you enjoyed it. Good night. Good day. Goodbye.
No, they won't start unless you have a meeting. Thank you. When I spoke to him, he has agreed to come. Very reluctantly, I might add.
Excellent. Have a nice day, Dr. Weber. Madame.
Bye now. What, she asked wittily, was that all about?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Go on, try me.
Mrs. Cassadine is insisting on a meeting with Luke Spencer before the reception tonight.
What?
Yes, and she has threatened to cancel not only the reception, but the gift to the hospital, unless she gets her way.
What on earth is that dame up to, anyway?
No, darling, I really don't understand why you're so suspicious of Helena Cassidy.
Listen, she's hardly the prototype of Whistler's mother.
Well, if you want my opinion, I think she just swooped down here to make amends for her husband. I mean, and what better way to do it than to have a marvelous cocktail party? I can hardly wait to see what she's going to wear.
You know, you absolutely amaze me. You'll forgive anybody anything as long as they do it in style.
Oh, Robert. You know, it wouldn't hurt you to be a little bit more charitable yourself.
Listen, I'm a wonderful bloke, but I'm nobody's idiot.
Oh, please. Don't you know that the whole Cassadine Empire has already been destroyed?
Listen, I have thought of them as the enemy too long to think of them in any other capacity. Hello? Yeah? What? Oh, today? Well, it's a little ahead of schedule, isn't it? I see. Well, look, Mr. Spencer's away on his honeymoon, but I'm his partner, so I could come down and sign any papers that have to be signed. I see. Okay. Well, I'll see you shortly. Bye.
Well, that must have been good news, darling. It actually wiped the scowl off your face.
Yeah, the yacht's arrived in town ahead of schedule.
The Titan is here?
In all its glory.
Oh, this is fabulous news, darling.
Well, Luke and Laura will think so, too, until the next installment of harbor tax comes due.
Oh, Robert, you always have to be so negative about everything.
Tell you what. Come down to the harbor master with me, and I've got to fill out a few forms, and I promise that I'll brighten up, huh?
Woo, you got a date, baby.
Yeah, this says I never take you anywhere.
According to this indictment, the defendant, Heather Weber, is charged with assault with intent to commit murder. Counselor, what plea do you enter?
The defendant pleads not guilty, Your Honor.
And trial date will be set. All parties will be notified. Mr. District Attorney, do you have any recommendation as to bail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. You may address the court.
We must take into consideration that the incident for which this woman is being charged was a second attempt to murder Diana Taylor. The first time she tried to give her an overdose of LSD and ended up taking it herself. As a result, Mrs. Weber aggravated her own mental instability and spent a good deal of time in mental institutions. While residing at Forest Hills, she continued to plot against Diana Taylor. Her nefarious dealings included theft of a nurse's uniform, a car, and a gun, all of which were used in several secret forays into Port Charles to make good her threats against Mrs. Taylor. Diana Taylor has since been murdered, by whose hand it has not yet been proven. But it cannot be ignored that although the evidence is insufficient at present to charge Mrs. Weber with murder, she is still a prime suspect. In light of this, and in light of the fact that Heather Weber has proven herself time and time again to be both devious and dangerous, I ask that bail be set the sum of $100,000.
I object, Your Honor. The district attorney's request is outrageously excessive.
One moment, Mr. Kelly. I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly. It's just been pointed out to me that I'm committed to sit at a trial in another courtroom. I have to leave at once.
Under these circumstances, Your Honor, I request that we continue this matter to another day.
Well, normally I'd agree to that procedure. However, the court calendar is possibly overloaded at this moment. If both parties are agreeable, I suggest we reconvene at 5 p.m. and settle this matter today, Counselor.
Fine with me.
Satisfactory to the state?
I'm agreeable.
Joe, you gotta help me.
I am just getting warmed up, honey. Wait till you see me go to work on this guy, only reconvene. Be all right.
The longer this takes, the more nervous I get.
Oh, the nurse on the evening shift didn't relieve me until just now. Hope I'm not too late.
I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, but you're mad, I can tell.
Well, I just happen to be mad at the whole world.
Well, it's not such a bad place. Why don't you give it a chance?
Now, listen, I didn't come here to get a lecture from the little original Mary Sunshine, you know?
That's not my style, and you know it.
Well, spit it out then, Bobbie. What do you want? You call this meeting?
Okay. I'm gonna lay it on the line. What do you want from my brother and Laura?
I'm contesting the divorce.
Lee's against it. And Lee is one of the best lawyers in this state. He said he's going to do everything he can to keep you from taking action.
Well, I've studied a little law myself, you know that?
Your law degree is not going to help you emotionally. Your father is going to be against you, Scotty. Me too, and everybody else who lives in Port Charles.
Well, you know something, Bobbie? I just never, ever thought I'd see the day when you, of all people, defend little Laura.
Well, people change. Sometimes it's not easy, but I found it in my heart to forgive her. Can you?
Nobody has any idea what I've been through.
Can you?
No, I can't.
Well, then you better consider this fair warning. Because if you go ahead with your little plan, you are going to be one of the most hated men in this city. If you don't give Laura her freedom and you don't let them live in peace, you are not going to be welcome around here anymore.
Everybody just loves looking Laura, don't they?
You got it, baby. You were at the wedding. You saw it. So you just go ahead and you try it. And you might as well sign away everyone and everything that's ever meant anything to you in this town.
Tell you what, Spencer owes me for this one. I'm getting writer's cramp from all these bloody forms.
Bureaucracy, what do you expect?
You know, we could probably give you a gold star for penmanship, darling.
Yes, I should be thankful for small miracles. I checked her out from stem to stern. Everything seems to be in good order.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a smoke. Just yell when you're done.
Will do.
How many more, darling?
Oh, a couple of dozen.
You know, seeing that boat today brought back so many memories.
Hey, look, I'd have had as much fun on board the Titanic.
But surely you had some marvelous moonlit nights on those high seas.
Well, you see, the moonlight didn't quite get down to the bilges, huh?
Well, you had to come up for air sometime, didn't you?
It's funny, but my only recollection of that voyage was monitoring the rat patrol down in the baggage compartment.
What about the night we saw the film of the royal wedding?
What about it?
You look so handsome and gallant in your little steward's outfit.
Yeah, which I'd stolen.
True. Oh, the lights were out, remember?
Yes.
I felt this hand on my shoulder.
Yes, yes.
I turned around.
Yes.
Our eyes met.
Yes.
And
voila! There I was, the steward of your dreams.
wasn't all that bad, was it?
No, the boat was quite a vessel.
You know, I have a great idea.
Tell me.
Why don't we come back here after the Cassadine reception tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Have a little champagne, and I can show you a little bit of what we missed on the boat.
You have most definitely got a date. Oh, it sounds so good. But now I must hustle through all these papers here and then go home and change. I don't want to miss 1 second of whatever Helena Cassadine's planning.
Oh, of course not, darling.
Sir, it's getting late.
Irrelevant. Madame has requested that we delay setting up the bar in the Grand Hall. She has one more meeting before the reception.
I'll wait further instructions.
Merci bien. Yes. Please have Madame Cassadine's private jet prepared for takeoff at precisely 10 this evening. Understand? Very good. That will be Mr. Spencer.
Oh, come in, Mr. Spencer. Madame Cassadine is expecting you.
I know. I was told you insisted on seeing me.
That was my only condition for my gift for General Hospital. Thank you for interrupting your honeymoon to come see me.
I promised I would.
I wanted to see the kind of man you were. The kind of man that almost fooled my husband.
I never fooled him. But we did share something.
What?
Awareness. Feelings about starvation and disease. You see, I grew up poor. Your husband said he had compassion for the poor, and yet he only saw us through locked windows in a limousine.
But he did see.
Yes, he saw. He had a dream. He had a vision. But he had a flaw.
I don't want to hear that. I have to live with that.
I want you to know that I tried to save them.
Then you did see the good in him.
I would not watch any man die, even your husband.
He would have said that when he was your age.
Are you telling me I'm like him?
You share his goals?
Some of them.
But I see one, especially. In your eyes.
What is that?
Power.
No, not power. You see what power buys. Success, respect, that's what I need. You seem to forget. I was one of the have-nots.
Someday, you shall have those things. And when you do, you will realize Mikos did not deserve his fate.
The doctors out at Forest Hills, Your Honor, that Mrs. Weber is sufficiently recovered to live among society and to function fully. Since her release, she's made every attempt to be a law-abiding citizen. She has a job, a place of residence. She attends regular therapy sessions at General Hospital. Dr. Rick Weber, who is one of the outstanding members of this community, has agreed to take responsibility for her. There have been no further complaints against my client. And it's outrageous to assume that she would not be here at a court date as set. Your Honor, therefore, I respectfully request that the bail be set at the much more reasonable sum of $10,000.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I agree that the amount of bail requested by the prosecution is unusual in a case of assault. However, the erratic past history of the defendant, coupled with the need for further investigation into the murder of Diana Taylor, leads me to believe otherwise. In this case, the sum is deemed appropriate. Therefore, bail is set at $100,000. The defendant may post bail. In failure to do so, is remanded to custody. This hearing is adjourned.
All rise.
$100,000. What is he trying to do to me?
Look, we've been going over and over this. Did you ever get tired?
Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of getting nowhere with you.
Then why don't you just give up?
Like you did? Never.
Listen, I don't know what you expected to accomplish from this meeting, but I keep telling you how I feel, and you're not listening to me.
I'm hearing what you're saying, Scotty, but it doesn't make any sense. If you wanted to contest the divorce, why did you wait until the wedding?
I don't know.
Well, you know, from where I stand, it looks to me as if you staged that little scene just to do it at the moment that it was going to hurt the most.
I was there, Bobbie. It just happened.
Just like that?
Just like that, yeah. Now, I'm not about to say that I'm sorry, because I happen to enjoy watching your brother squirm when I caught that bouquet.
Did you think that was funny?
You got the point across.
It almost ruined my brother's wedding.
You know, this is a real good case of the old pot calling the kettle black.
Hey, I don't need you to tell me who I am, okay? I know where I've been and I know what I've done. And I have pulled every dirty trick in the book.
Some of them they haven't even written
The point is,
about,
it didn't do any good because it didn't make me happy. And I didn't like myself very much. And it's not going to work any better for you because Luke and Laura are going to get their divorce.
We'll see.
Scotty, you can't stop them from living together.
Look, will you just knock it off? Give me a break.
No, I'm not going to knock it off. Now, you hear me out. I was in love with you once. I know what it's like to lose somebody that you love. It's a very painful experience. It's the loneliest feeling in the world, but it is inevitable. Why can't you just let it go? Scotty, what are you going to do? You're miserable. It's written all over your face.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Are you going to contest the divorce?
Maybe I will. I won't.
Damn it, Scotty. What's the matter with you? What's happened to you? What's happened to the man that I loved?
Like the wind. He's gone.
I don't want to believe that.
Well, you better believe it, Bobbie, because you taught me a lot. And what you didn't teach me, Luke and Laura taught me the rest. So take a good look, because this is me.
I'm looking. I don't believe it.
Yeah, all right. Nice to see you.
Lila!
Oh,
So good to see you again.
well, John, this is beginning to be a habit, isn't it?
There have been a lot of gatherings lately, haven't there?
Well, I'm all in favor of it. I adore parties.
And Edward?
Oh, he's at home with a cold, or that's what he says. But because I don't believe a word of it. He tried the same thing on New Year's Eve. Oh, will you excuse me, please? I want to see this. Hello, my dears. Oh, well, I wish that Mrs. Cassadine would give more parties of this kind, if that's what it takes to get you children together.
Well, don't get your hopes up, Lila. I was just imparting some information about our son that we have in common.
We share precious little else.
Well, your family, then there's nothing in this whole world that's more important than that.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, darling, I see champagne over there that is screaming for my lips. Would you like some?
Not just at the moment. I want to keep my wits about me.
Robert, expecting trouble.
I don't know what to expect, love, but I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yes.
Exactly some of the most important things that I wanted to do today, I'll tell you that.
To be perfectly honest, I'm surprised to see the both of you here. I mean, understanding how you must feel about the Castines.
Yes, well,
It's a command performance. Steve, Artie, and I were both a little dubious, but it seems that it is for the benefit of the hospital.
Dr. Weber, yes, there's a telephone call for you. You may take it in the foyer.
Thank you. Excuse me.
that is a very strange little fellow. Well, of course, his employer's a little odd, too. Do you know that she sent him to the clinic today to tell us that she would call every day unless she had a chance to talk to Luke today?
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, evidently he did meet with her, but can you imagine the gall of that one? Interrupting his honeymoon. Didn't care.
I suppose he's been telling you all about the arrival of the yacht today.
The Titan's here?
Yeah, a bit ahead of schedule, but all in one piece.
Oh, yes, it's gorgeous, darling. Marvelous, marvelous.
Yes, I know. It's in
Hey, look, Tiffany and I are going to have a drink on the old white elephant later on. Why don't you and Rick join us?
That sounds like fun. I think Rick would like.
Excuse me, I've got an emergency at the clinic. I better get down there right now.
Oh, okay. I was just talking to Robert and Tiffany about us joining them for a drink afterwards.
Yes, the yacht just arrived today.
Well, I should be through, I would think, by the time this little reception's over, so why don't you pick me up at the clinic?
Done.
Good, thanks.
Excuse me. Rick?
Yeah.
I'll call you to see if you can make it, but if you need me then, then you just call me, all right?
Just fine.
Hi, can I talk to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Mrs. Mikos Kassedine